Howdy, howdy. Rhys Clark here with Jerry and Greg, and we're talking Blaemires.
That's right.
And how we came together with Blaemires. And my story is this, that I was rehearsing with my band from Australia in Hollywood, and a gentleman there was drum teching. I needed a Ludwig strainer, throw-off snare, repaired, and when there wasn't a part available for it, this gentleman bought an idea for a snare drum for me to use and see if I liked it, and it happened to be a snare drum with a shell that was made by this fellow, Blaemire. So what happened was, Jerry Steinholtz is the fellow's name who assembled the snare drum for me. So I tried it, and I found it just so easy to get a sound out of. It had a beautiful dry sound, and it was just wonderfully explosive. Jerry was teching for Buddy Rich at the time, and he allowed Buddy to play it, and Buddy smiled about it. Jack Sperling tried it, and he enjoyed it. And Earl Palmer actually signed the head and said, you know, great snare drum. So from there, Jerry asked me if I would like to maybe have a set built, and I said, yeah, I think that would be neat. So we got together, and Jerry Steinholtz put the dimensions together for me, went to Blaemire and said that he had this drummer who was looking to have a set built based on the snare drum that he had bought. And indeed, Blaemire put the dimensions together for me, a 24-14 bass drum shell, a two-mounted 13-9, 14-10, and the floor 16-16. And I took those and started to go in the studio with them and developed a sound out of them. It took me a little bit of time, but after a while they started to ease up and get tone in them. You know, I went through the clear heads, the CS heads, and then tried coated heads, and then came back to your regular Ambassador clear heads. And I was doing recording work with them, and one of the artists that I recorded with was a fellow by the name of Billy Joel, and I got to play on his first album. And then from that he asked me if I'd like to go on the road, and I said yes. I haven't played concerts in the United States and would love to do that. And so I took the Blaemires with me, and we had a wonderful 4 years of studio and live all over the United States. And I got wonderful feedback from sound companies, etc., and our sound guys about how great and big and easily to record sound that these drums had. So later on in time here, I decided to bring them back out in the last couple of years, and that led me to Greg and Jerry and David, and here we are right now. We're sitting talking and enjoying Blaemires, and I love the work that they've done with them in rebuilding them and giving them a whole historic rebirth. And it's just made me proud that I have a vintage set, and fate has it that I'm playing them again.
Now, you said that you had a snare drum initially,
yes,
but more recently, in recent years, something happened to it?
Yes, like it got stolen.
How long ago was that?
A long time ago. That was, you know, back in the mid-70s.
Oh, way back then. Oh,
yes.
For some reason I thought it was more recent than that.
No. I went in and you know, I already had my old super classic set, Ludwig's.
Right.
And so in the 80s I bought, you know, another Ludwig set.
Right.
That my boss paid for me. And however, losing that set,
right,
a year and a half ago,
oh, okay,
got me to thinking about
come back to the
my
Blaemires.
Blaemires. And so I came back to the Blaemires, and
great.
Here we are.
That's great. And that's going to be good that it's going to be nice you're going to play one of our snares with your old Blaemires.
And yes, and I'm proud to be able to do that. You know, I just didn't know what was going to happen with, you know, bringing them back out, but I thought, you know, there is magic in the shells.
Sure.
And there always has been, and we'll see what we can do again.
Okay, great.
So here we are.
Perfect.
Is that all right?
That was
Was I cheesy enough?
That's cheesy.
Was I hammy enough?
Yeah, perfect.
I don't do this. You can tell I don't do